Hi, my name is Marco. I'm a former pro opera singer turned voice actor. Watch your step! Some of these boards seem pretty rickety. Kendra? Kendra! Today we're going to be listening to Cao Cao's theme from Total War 3 Kingdoms. This is called 15 Started, 80 Returned, and I'm really curious to hear this. I've only played Total War Rome, I believe. That was a long time ago. So let's dive right in. Wow, super short and sweet. I think one of the coolest things about games like Total War is their commitment to historical realism, taking place in true battles that have occurred in history. It was one of the reasons why I was interested in Total War to begin with. I love that in the beginning here, we have this chant, Cao Cao, Cao Cao, Cao Cao. When a group of people are shouting your name like that, the first thing I would say is that it highlights how reverent and revered as a warlord Cao Cao must have been. There's a certain amount of status and respect that must be there. You know, I don't know the deeds of this historical person, I don't know. But in listening simply to the music, it's a very interesting choice. You know, I find this song interesting because we're dealing with a historical figure. This isn't a simple, let's just listen to the music sort of discussion. Cao Cao was a Chinese poet, a statesman, and a warlord. To me, the singing taps into that poetry aspect, in that maybe for other warlords that may be in this game, they may not focus on the singing. It may not be a part of it. And I think you have a really interesting juxtaposition here between these warlord drums and this intense, strong military leader, and then also this poetic sung portion of depicting the poetry and the art that this figure had. If you look at this in Wikipedia in the first paragraph, he remains a controversial historical figure and is often portrayed as a cruel and merciless tyrant in subsequent literature. He's also been praised as a brilliant ruler, military genius, and great poet with unrivaled charisma who treated his subordinates like his family. And that's probably why they include the chant at the beginning. So it's pretty amazing how a game like Total War can create a song and a theme and an anthem around a historical figure that was around thousands of years ago, and somehow show us a glimpse of that person's personality, because it's like, okay, well, how do I create this so that an audience who's playing the game or listening can understand what this person was really like, while also keeping them tethered to gameplay and to the game. When I listen to this, I hear standard sounds, but it's like looking at each individual section, picking up contextual clues that are in there from the composer, and being able to say, okay, that's really interesting. Why is there singing? Why are there traditional Chinese instruments? What is the influence of this persona and this character? And how do I use all this information to deduce what this is all about? And the thing is too, like, no one in history usually gets away with a clean slate. All of us have duality, and all of us have things that we've done or do that can be controversial. This was a really challenging video to film, if I'm honest with you, because this is based off of reality. This is based off of a real figure. We see this in movies and TV, of course, but besides, Assassin's Creed and the Total War series and a few others, I'm sure, that I can't think of right this second, there are very few games that try to tackle true historical things with accuracy. It's hard, I think, to have shades of gray exist in trying to create a story. It's easier if you have a clean slate or you base something off of something, rather than, oh, let's focus on a true historical figure who was not perfect and who had many, many flaws and was viewed as controversial. But let's honor that legacy in some way with music and with gameplay and with an experience that people in the future can experience and enjoy. It's very, very interesting, and this was a really cool and interesting thing to listen to. As always, if you want to check out the Patreon, feel free to. Also, come join the Discord, and thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.